Welcome to Friday Bible study, everybody. Let's go. So the believers in Antioch decided to send relief to the brothers and sisters in Judea. And again, that's who you take care of. It's sheep taking care of sheep. You're not obligated to take care of the world's poor. Sheep help sheep. You're not obligated to visit random or anybody in jail. But if a fellow sheep, a fellow church member, true church, not these fake churches, a true church member of the way, a true member of the way, teaching against free will, a teaching strictly about God's will of ordaining everything from before the foundation of the world, including who his sheep are, and that he will pull his sheep out of the world. That is who we visit in jail. Those are the widows we are to take care of. So anyway, anything you do on the side, that's for you, but you're not, how do we say, pleasing the Lord in doing so. If you're representing goodness by doing so, just as an example to people, that's great. You know, we are to be the light. But if all you do is just do it to the world randomly, your charitable situations or jail visiting, whatever it is, well, then it piles up a whole bunch of nothing. Wood, hay, stubble versus gold, precious stones, and so forth. However it goes. How does it go? Wood, hay, stubble, Bible verse. 1 Corinthians 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, King James Version, Bible Gateway. So it was around that verse 12 range, wasn't it? For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now, if any man build up his foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be manifest, for the day shall declare it, for it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, wood, hay, stubble, wood burns, hay burns, stubble burns, he shall suffer loss. But he himself shall be saved, yet so by fire. So, you know, anything you do for the world, it's going to be burned up. It's meaningless. Anything you do in helping fellow sheep members, that is gold, silver, precious stones. So the believers let's just start at the beginning. So the believers in Antioch to send relief to the brothers and sisters in Judea, everyone giving as much as they could. This they did, entrusting their gifts to Barnabas and Saul to take to the elders of the church in Jerusalem. James is killed and Peter is imprisoned. About that time, King Herod Agrippa began to persecute some believers in the church. Of course, this was the will of God. God had ordained that from before the foundation of the world, that would take place. I'm always waiting for that knock at the door, because trust me, they don't like what I do, exposing their world, exposing all their preachers as being false preachers, either on purpose or just mistaught and fallen into it. But most of them know what they're doing. When Herod saw how much this pleased the Jewish people, he also arrested Peter. This took place during the Passover celebration. Then he imprisoned him, placing him under the guard of 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. Herod intended to bring Peter out for much public trial after Passover. But while Peter was in prison, the church prayed very earnestly for him. Peter's miraculous escape from prison. All of this, of course, ordained by the Lord well in advance. The night before Peter was to be placed on trial, he was asleep, fastened with 2 chains between 2 soldiers. Others stood guard at the prison gate. Suddenly, there was a bright light in the cell, and an angel of the Lord stood before Peter. The angel struck him on the side to awaken him and said, "Quick, get up." And the chains fell off his wrist. We'll get to the rest of that tomorrow. We're going to finish up 7, move on to Revelation 8. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst no more, neither shall sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them and shall lead them unto living fountains of water, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. This is all told again in Revelation 21, 20, 19, 20, 21. God shall wipe away all our tears, Revelation 20. God shall wipe away all our tears, Revelation 21. So in Revelation 21, same thing said in Revelation 7. God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. If we go to 21:4. So I've got it highlighted in gold and highlighted in gold. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. It's the same story being told over and over throughout the book of Revelation, starting at chapter 6 on, but it's told in different ways. A little deeper over here, a little more in depth about this over there. You know, it's just the same story told in different ways. And when he had opened up the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven, and it bounces, like it'll stop from one verse and go all the way about something completely different. It'll go back to telling the same story over here and the same story over there, but it'll bounce. So that's why I read this over and over and over. And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of a half an hour. And I saw 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Now the earth is about to be cleansed. 7 trumpets, 7 bowls. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came up with prayers of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hands. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. And at the last trump will be when they show you one more time how the church is removed. Well, the church is already, the church has already been sealed. We've gotten to that so far. And then we just got through reading about how the Lord had wiped away all their tears, so they've already been collected. Well, at this last trump, they're going to go through the collection process. At the last trump, we're all changed. So it's very layered. The book of it's very difficult, very difficult. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all grass was burnt up. Love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.